Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1 minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and Kyle.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to talk about the English language.
Ah, one of my favorite subjects.
It is. Well, for both of us and I think for many of our listeners, first spoken in early medieval England, eventually becoming the leading language of international discourse in the 21st century. We know that it's filled with words that sometimes require disambiguation.
Ooh.
And what is that? Well, if you're a frequenter of Wikipedia, which of course I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because sometimes you got to remove the ambiguity to make something clear. Why would you need to do that? Because English is weird and many of our words mean different things. But perhaps no word is more diverse than one. And no, it's not that one, because I know the one you're thinking of, and I can't say that word because this is a family show.
Yeah. I was thinking it was dude.
Okay, the third word.
Okay.
The third word that could not be more diverse. Kyle, it's in this minute.
Oh, okay.
I want you to know, pick which one am I talking about? I'm
looking at the script.
Ready?
Yes.
A grade of pewter, which is 84 parts tin, 7 antimony, and 4 parts copper.
Okay.
Or am I talking about the trimaran sailboat designed by Derek Kessel and produced in 1966? Or am I talking about the decadent British dessert with layers of fruits, custards, and alcohol-infused cakes? Or am I talking about that little thing of value or importance, much like this intro? But I shall no longer do that to you or our listeners. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the word trifle.
For those of you who are fans of Friends, I think you know about a trifle.
No, wait. Okay. You don't normally, nobody says don't trifle with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
just a token, really, a trifle.
As we enter into this minute, we have some just amazing moments by I know you and I both agree on in this movie, one of our favorite characters. Mm-hmm. It just made me laugh when he uses this word, because this word is one of those weird words that means so many different things. It'll mean many things to us as we talk about this minute.
That's right, because here we are at minute 91 of Iron Man 2 from 2010, directed by Mr. Jon Favreau. And so we are past the hour and a half mark. We are into Act 3. We are headed towards a big explosive finale. But we're not there yet, because we're still in the fact that Justin Hammer reading the riot act to Ivan. So he's still laying into him about his stuff. And so we start on a very odd line. Doing the show, it's always interesting to where the things cut off. And so in this case, we start out with the first thing that Justin says in minute 91 is, maybe I'll even get laid.
Oh.
So he's talking about going to the expo and perhaps what he plans to do after the expo, after he's shown off all of his brand new toys, and maybe he'll go out and seek some companionship.
Oh, I thought he was going to go to Hawaii first. And then head over to the expo.
Rob, why not both?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what he meant. I can't see.
See, words, English language, disambiguation. It makes it difficult.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's weird. I know. We pick up this minute where he's just like, right? Yeah, I was like, okay, Justin.
Right. We come back to it, press play on the thing. It's, maybe I'll get laid. Like, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Justin. Good luck. But you won't. I've seen the future. You won't.
No.
So Justin says, yeah. He says, you see these guys? They're your babysitters. And there's some nice camera work of, like, he cuts to both of the stooges, his enforcers are in the room, and they're just steely-eyed, nothing, don't even move. I mean, like, they might have just been dropping in a still shot, because these guys are basically just 1,000-yard stare, like, intense.
And also humorous that the one, which we've talked about in the previous minute,
yeah,
is holding a bag with the Boyd in it, which right. I do think is kind of amusing.
I know, like, it's really hard to stand tough when you're holding a burlap sack with a cockatoo in it.
Yeah. So,
in the background of that shot, actually, you can see there is on the screen. There actually is a schematic of one of the drone suits that we're going to be seeing very soon, and no head. So, I mean, like, at that point, the schematic is of the actual drone, not the, I guess, the sort of thing that Ivan built to put inside it.
Now, is
the endoskeleton? I'm not sure.
Exoskeleton.
Endoskeleton. I know it'd be endo because it's inside, right? Oh, once again, disambiguation.
No, it's exo. Okay.
No, exo is what Iron Man is. But this is
outside.
going inside the suit, so it'd be an endoskeleton, right?
Correct. Thank you, yes.
Right? English language is weird.
Okay, now when we see this, is this, I was just curious, that schematic looks a little bit different to me. Is that a foreshadowing of a yet-to-be-seen suit that we're going to see later on?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was just a version of one of the suits, because what we're seeing are suits, because they took the existing suits and then just modified them. Like, he only got access to the War Machine armor like the previous day, if I'm remembering my timeline correctly. So he has not incorporated any of that technology or design into any of his stuff. We're still just seeing what his suits were before they became drones.
Gotcha. I thought that I assume that, but as I was looking into this more, and the rest of this in this workshop, his basically holding cell / personal workshop, it's all workshopy stuff. There's nothing there of notice. Gauges and other devices, a couple Hammer Industry stickers, things like that. Yeah. But what I thought is, I was like, wow, did I ever really notice? Is this a foreshadowing of the Mark II suit we're going to see him? Spoiler. We're going to see.
I didn't think about that.
And here would be the funny part is that because he doesn't care about Justin, because he knows Justin doesn't know really anything about the innards of this, he could just leave it on the screen and it wouldn't matter. True. Which I think is funny.
Although his new drone, you'll love his new drone.
Yeah. It has beeps.
Beeps and boops.
You'll still get lucky later on. It just won't be like you think.
So Justin continues on. They are not to be trifled with. There it is. There's our trifle. Just a token, really. When I get back, we're going to renegotiate the terms of our agreement. Like, Justin Hammer is trying to be so tough in these things, like trying to like really like, and basically all three people in the room are like, okay, buddy.
Every once in a while we're getting a shot of Ivan, and he's just looking at him like, whatever, dude.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm already thinking, 3 hours ahead.
Right. I'm tolerating you right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm running calisthenics in my head.
Right.
And you're going to make good on our arrangement, because if you don't, you're going to be exactly what you were when I found you. A dead man.
Ooh.
Like, I also want to hear the tone of the Undertaker's theme right here.
Or a little Law and Order. Clank, clank.
Oh. Justin continues on. You got that? Maybe you can watch me on TV. And he gestures over to the TV that's in the thing. And then he exits. And Ivan sort of takes a beat and then sort of looks at these two guys who are just, staying in the room with him. And he does not look impressed, Rob.
No. He actually, it's a smirk. It's a smirky smirk that you don't want to see, because it usually is followed by fisticuffs and death. I'm just saying.
Ooh. Spoiler alert.
Not giving anything away, but no, because that's a smirk. That's a smirk of, you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we cut to stately Stark Manor.
Which, it's a nice wide shot.
On the other side of the coast. Yeah.
Other side of the coast, right? We're at the Stark Manor, and one thing that we do know is that the windows have finally been replaced.
Yay!
So yay, that's nice to see.
So thank you to the shield contractors.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, the last time we saw this in the thing, it was that all that stuff was still blown out. So now it's been replaced. So while Tony has been holed up working on his new elemental, Starkium, they have had the the shield contractors come through and replace all the stuff and get it back to almost factory condition.
Correct. Nice little note, though. Nice little detail in the CG for that. That's nice.
Yeah. Or, an oversight. Yeah. But let's go with the proper detail.
An old shot. I mean, exactly.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I'm being positive, yeah.
So we go from a trio of bad guys to a trio of heroes, because Tony's not alone. He has his two best friends with him. And it's DUM-E and U, his two robotic companions.
Hey, and I think we were talking about this earlier. Like, DUM-E, I think if we haven't mentioned this, just to note that the connection to this from the first Iron Man movie is there's a couple of montages in that where they show Tony Stark when he's younger, as he's growing up, becoming this techno whiz kid. And DUM-E is, I think, considered his first invention. It's shown early on that this has been his basically, for lack of a better term, a companion along this whole way. So kudos to DUM-E. Way to
Yeah,
go.
kudos. Yeah, exactly. People underestimate the importance of DUM-E because, Rob, if you think about it, DUM-E is the Vision's grandfather.
Oh,
Right?
yes. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that both of them have wonderful fates ahead of them. That's good. And if you're saying to yourself, what am I talking about? That's a miniature spoiler to Iron Man 3 that I don't know if we'll ever get to someday, but let me just tell you, I don't think Dummy's fate is great.
Well, yeah, I say
Yeah.
I actually honestly don't remember. One of them survives, and I don't remember which one it is. So
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think it's the other one.
All right,
anyway.
So
we see
Tony's then
Dummy.
talking to them. He says, "DUM-E, you, can we clean up this mess? You're killing me. I know I don't." And then all of a sudden, he gets elected by, as most of us do, interrupted by a telephone call. So Jarvis says, "Incoming call with a blocked number, sir." So when they cut to that shot of him doing that, we see that he's actually moved his server farm out into the main hallway. So like,
Right.
I was worried before when we were doing the stuff with, when he made his little, his invention and he was shooting lasers and stuff, he would have been cutting right through his own servers. But it turns out before he did that, before he created the prismatic accelerator, he actually moved all the servers out so they wouldn't be damaged by it too, which is thinking ahead, which is not something Tony's really known for. So,
Well, and I like this shot because not only you see the server farm, and then interestingly enough, you've got two big screens that are flanking him on the left and right.
Yep.
The left screen you can see has Stark Expo information, and you can actually make out the picture of Justin Hammer, which we will see in just a few moments. Why that's important. The other shot, the other monitor, has a whole bunch of arc reactor imagery.
Yeah.
In various stages, and looks like a lot of analysis going on because remember he still has his original arc reactor that's causing the palladium poisoning.
Right. So Jarvis is currently running tests on that right now to make sure that it's safe and it can be put inside of his body without killing him, or causing a small nuclear reaction in his chest. New elements. You don't know what they're gonna do. So like he has it sitting there, and I think in one, as we sort of move around the side, we get to see it. That it's sitting on the desk too. So he actually, and that's the thing is, Apple makes a lot of money with their products, but it's really the powers in the accessories. So Tony took the time to actually create a cradle for the new one as well. So he actually has a designated arc reactor cradle sitting on his desk too, where it can hook into and run all the stuff too. So you're right. So he's got three screens. He's got the one that has expo information. The middle one has like the arc reactor stuff going on, and then the third one is sort of businessy because you can see like there's his calendars on there, business stuff there, and so this is where the phone call comes in sort of on that screen. Tony is actually surprised by the telephone call. He says, "Hey, my phone privilege is reinstated. Lovely." And he answers the phone, and who else would be calling him on a phone line that's just been holding? It has to be Coulson, right?
Yeah, of course.
So he says, "Coulson, how's the land of enchantment?"
Oh,
but unless Coulson's doing an impression, the voice that responds, the voice response is not, in fact, Clark Gregg. No, it's Ivan. He says, "Hey Tony, how you doing?" And I actually had to look this up too, even though by context you know it is. But like in the thing, he says, "I double cycle." So he says in this very thick accent, "Hey Tony, how you doing? I double cycle." And it's like you what? I didn't catch it. It's really double cycle. Like it's even Tony says, "You what? You told me double cycles more power. Good advice." So,
and it's kind of just like that,
true. Right? This is coming back to that scene in the cell, where Tony was giving him advice about like his design and problems with the design, and now it turns out he was actually listening and he took his advice. So Tony is partly responsible for how difficult his next couple hours are going to be.
Right.
Because remember, the villain of this movie is Tony Stark. So then we cut to Ivan on there. Speaking of murder, we cut to Ivan, and he's sitting on the ground. He's pulled up the floorboards. You're sitting there, and you see the two guards are hanging from the ceiling behind him. So, Rob, can you walk me through this? Like, what happened in that room between the beginning of this minute and the end of this minute because I'm a little fuzzy on it.
Okay, I want to say this. This would be an amazing one shot someday, right?
Yes.
Like showing what happened because this is one of the greatest hard cuts ever. Because you go from right, like stuff's happening. Oh, Justin's
Tony's
mad.
talking to his wacky robot.
Tony's got his robot, right? And I should say it's one of the darkest hard cuts you will ever see.
Especially in the MCU.
Yes. We go to, here is that workshop. We've kind of talked about, we still see the screen with the schematic behind, the various workbenches, everything else. But let me paint the scene for you. Beautiful, pristine floor. You see one of the panels moved off. He's got one of those suction cup handles that you have to use to remove usually like big, like either glass panels or like big heavy panels. Yeah. He's got one of those. It's been moved. There's a monkey wrench. He's clearly using some sort of voice over IP or some other phone that is dialing right into a line.
Rob, I believe you're talking about the Greenlee TM500 telephone test set.
I was. That's what I was.
See, in the evolving world of telecommunications, the Telemate telephone test set is designed to help technicians install, service, and maintain voice service with ease. Able to tackle the complexities of today's analog telecommunication lines, the TM500 offers the convenience of line-powered, no battery needed operations and useful features like a high impedance monitor that is data and DSL safe, polarity test, speed dial, last number dialed, and pulse dialing, making a technician more productive. The TM500 not only works in handset mode, but can be used with the headset included for easy hands-free operation. The TM500 is safe to operate with overvoltage and current detection. Thank you, TextToolSupply.com. This is what's cool about this thing is that the fact that technology, while moves it when they perfect something, it just stays. You can buy this exact one.
Oh, because that thing just does its job. It works.
Yeah, exactly. They perfected it. It does exactly what it is. And I've seen guys using very similar to this. Like, you can buy this exact model because they're like, we nailed it.
Yes, it's done.
We move on.
There's nothing more to do.
That's
By the
right.
way,
It was,
your whole thing. That's in revenge for my trifle conversation, isn't it?
A little bit.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay, that's good. I deserve that.
But when you create something that's good, it has to be from the good people at Greenlee. Yes, Greenlee is an American industrial and electrical tool company headquartered in Rockford, Illinois, which is just a stone's throw away from where I was born. It was founded in 1862 by the brothers Ralph and Robert Greenlee to manufacture their invention, a drill surrounded by 4 chisel blades used in the making of pockets for a mortise and tenon joint for the furniture industry in Rockford. The device is still being used today in modern cabinet making. So thank you to the good people at Greenlee.
Where was I? He's sitting down.
He's got his thing in his hand.
He's got his thing in his hand. He's talking. This is what he's calling Tony on, which is really great. Which, by the way, I'm glad you went on that deep dive because we will talk about this in the next minute, a little bit about this. So he's there. And your eye is going to all this. And your eye is like, oh, well, there he is. He's done some stuff. Oh, the bird. The bird is on.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way.
Oh, that's right.
Boyd is in the minute.
We have not seen Arena.
So Arena's right there on his shoulder.
She's out of the bag.
Right? And you're thinking, oh, that's interesting. Whoa, he's got a little bit of red paint on his palm as he's talking to him. That's interesting. I go over there, I go, maybe, well, I mean, what happened here? Maybe there's a kerfuffle. I see that there is an overturned stool on the right side of the frame here. I mean, like, that's interesting. Oh, and then I see 2 bodies hanging from the ceiling, not touching the ground. He's murdered those 2 guys.
Yeah. They're dead. Absolutely. 100%. But my thing is, okay, so let's say he's like, well, I don't like you guys in my room. I got secret business to do. So he goes after them. He fights them. He fights them. He kills them. And then he takes the time to string them up and hang them from the ceiling. Now, were they dead when he hung them? Was one dead? And then he made them watch while he hung the other one? And then if he did, then he had to lift. I mean, okay, lifting a human being is not an easy thing. And he did it twice. For what purpose?
Horror.
There's no one else, but there's no one else in the room.
Oh, there will be one point. Someone's going to be coming to that room at some point.
Later, but I did not think of Ivan as being this theatrical.
Oh, no. The beauty of this is, and of course I'm joking, like talking about everything else, but the first thing you notice when this cuts, the first thing you notice is, oh, those guys are dead.
Right.
And tactfully for a movie of the rating we're trying to go for, it's cut like from their chest down. So you don't see their heads. You don't see what's been done to them. You don't see anything around their necks or anything like that, which is really kind of neat. It's actually, if this were a horror film, this is an amazing shot because you get all the horror without the blood except for his hands.
Yeah.
And it's visceral. Like you just go, oh no. Oh, this went really badly. The bird's okay, but oh my God. And I think what's even more just crazy is you get into the sinister, like precision of Ivan in that he killed both these guys. He hung them up, and there's just a stool that has been overturned.
So were they both standing on the stool? Like, I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, what?
Oh, did he? No, that's what he did. Oh, no. So he subdued them both. No, this is what Ivan did. Oh, my God, this is exactly it. He knocked them both out.
Sure.
He ties them up, gets them standing on a stool, and then ties them up, like on the pipe or whatever.
Yeah.
He wakes them up and then kicks the stool out from under them.
Okay. All right. I'll go along with that.
Oh no, that's exactly what he did. I didn't even, because that's horrifying. It's horrifying for them.
Yeah.
It's horrifying for the viewer.
Yeah.
It's horrifying for the cleaning lady that pops into this this room the next day. Like, oh, I'm out.
Oh, just like the contractors on the Death Star. If you're taking the job cleaning Hammer Industries, you're complicit.
Well, I think. And you've seen a lot. This may not be the craziest thing you've seen. Let's be honest. I mean,
I hope that's a high-paying job.
Yeah, that's because, okay.
Yeah. So,
I think we've painted as big a scene there as we can.
I think so. Yeah. That makes that. I'll accept that. That makes a lot more sense now. So, speaking of death, Tony then says, "You sound pretty sprightly for a dead guy," and Ivan says, "You too." Oh. I was like, ooh, nice. Yeah.
And that's where the minute ends.
That's where the minute ends. It's right there.
Oh, wow. And I got to say, when you close, when they, as they go back and forth between these cuts in this conversation, we get to a close up of Ivan. He's got his is it his hair or does he kind of have like a hoodie? I think he's got his hoodie like pulled up over his head a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you see more of like this blood on the bottoms of his palms, and there's a little bit on his face, and he's got a little toothpick in his mouth. And he's just,
where is he getting all the toothpicks?
I don't know.
Is it not? It's not the same toothpick, right?
Well, no.
Like he doesn't just have like a lucky toothpick, right?
He's like Razor Ramon. He carries around a little. He has them with him. But I mean, you just the bad guy. Everybody loves the bad guy. So I got to say, like, I love this whole sequence because you had the fumbling sort of like fake machismo of Justin Hammer. It transitions into Tony figuring stuff out, and now you've just got Ivan, and Ivan now's unleashed. Like this is pure evil Ivan. This is just he's evil out Ivan. For his final chapter of revenge, and this is what you're seeing. I like it.
Yeah,
it's good.
I agree.
Oh, you agree that it's good? Is that yes? I went a little far on that. I know.
Yeah, that's a hard stance to take there. I know. Well, I can say this has been the highlight of these last sequence of minutes. It's been pretty kind of Dullsville.
I can't. Well, okay. It's
we're doing our best, ladies and germs, but
this.
But there's business is about to pick up. You're exactly right.
Yes. So Kyle, we've just painted this amazing picture of terror and horror.
Sure.
And you could say that a picture can say 1,000 words, right? I mean, like it's easily. What other place could people find if they're interested in pictures that are meaningful and that convey such a story? Is there a social media network that they might want to peruse?
You know what? Actually, there is. It's Instagram. Oh! It's based on beautiful shots like this. You can look at all those kind of things and more. And it happens that the next reel is on Instagram.
Yes.
If you follow at the next reel, we are trying to do our part to keep that part of the internet that incredibly fast-moving gallery of art. We're contributing our own little pieces of art to that. So
hopefully more entertainment, less murder.
Yes, that's our goal. Like
That is our
we
goal.
never posted that, but that's our unofficial motto.
More entertainment, less murder.
Yeah.
Will be the title of this minute.
News to us, old news to you.
There you go.
So make sure you're back here for minute 92 as this conversation continues. And sadly, in minute 92, we're going to have to say a fond farewell to one of our favorite characters. Which one? You'll have to tune in to find out. Enough said.
Bye.